Because right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, everyone. This is Bob Pompeani. We're live tonight until 11 o'clock on KDKA Plus and 93.7 The Fan. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, talking sports 7 nights a week, every single night. So call if you have some opinions. Let us know what you think at 412-575-2600. Today, the Pirates had to win a game, and they did. It took a while to get it done, though. They built a big 7-1 lead. They ended up winning 8-7, and they did it on a day where Arizona lost to Washington. So tomorrow's beginning of a 3-game series and another big one over at PNC Park as the Pirates will host Arizona, the team that has a 1-game lead over them. But there are a lot of teams jammed up here. It's Pittsburgh, it's St. Louis, San Diego won again today, so you wonder if they're going to trade Mason Miller now that they're still very much alive in a playoff opportunity. The Washington Nationals are a game behind, so all these games are huge, and if they can do some damage against Arizona, move into the third wild card, that would be a good thing because the schedule, as things move on, get a little easier for the Pittsburgh Pirates, although they still are dealing with a lot of injuries. So we'll talk about that and the trade deadline, which is coming up on August the 3rd. That's a week from tomorrow. What should the Pirates do? What do you think they should do? 412-575-2600. I think you got to do something big. And I say that because how many times over the past 4 decades have they been in position to do something in terms of getting into the postseason, and with the arms they have, legitimately could be a tough out. You don't get this opportunity the way they've done it. I would take full advantage of it. If it means giving up some prospects that you like, you're going to have to give up something to get something. I think they may, some sort of play that helps them in the bullpen especially. They brought in 3 guys who have really not had an impact, except a negative impact, minor moves in that bullpen, and they need to shore that up. And even today, got a little dicey there because Carmen Mlodzinski gave up a run, and then Mason Montgomery gave up a 2-run home run. You just don't know what you're going to get every single night. They've already DFA'd Santana. They did the same with Lawrence earlier. They're going through a lot of people, and they need help in that bullpen still if they're going to try to get into this playoff picture. I wonder what they'll do. I wonder how big they'll go and what it will cost to do it. They have some highly sought-after prospects. They'd like to keep them, I know. But if you can get someone who can help you right off the bat, it doesn't necessarily have to be Mason Miller. There are a lot of good pitchers out there who could help, and I think Ben Cherington owes it to this team to go out and do that. 412-575-2600 is the number to call. We also know that this is the beginning of training camp for the Pittsburgh Steelers starting Tuesday, first practice Wednesday. Players will be there on Tuesday. Mike McCarthy, a new era. What do you expect? The odds makers do not give the Steelers a whole lot of opportunity to win this division, it looks like. Only a 12% chance. I think that's too low. And I think the Ravens at 55% to win it is too high. The Ravens have Lamar Jackson. They have Derrick Henry. They don't have a lot of other aspects to their offense that I really like. Their defense is highly paid, but like the Steelers is under-delivered. So I'm not so sure what they're going to be like. I think Joe Burrow, if he's healthy all the way through the season, is good enough to overcome some of the problems they have defensively. And since Cincinnati could be a team, and I think we've already seen that when he's healthy. A couple of years ago, he got one to the Super Bowl, then to an AFC Championship game, all because he can throw the football all over the place with his cast of characters there on offense and overcome and hide some of their negative things on defense. So it'll be an interesting division for sure. The Browns are given only a 1.1% chance of winning the AFC Central. The Steelers have some things to worry about in terms of their offensive line. They're moving some guys around. Troy Fautano is going to be at left tackle, which is his natural position, so you would think that would be good for him. They're also moving some guys around who normally were at the right side to the left side, which could open up something for a guy like Maxi Honachor, the first-round pick. Can he play right tackle? If not, will it be Dylan Cook? So there are a lot of things in play going into this one. But the number one issue, of course, will be who's going to be the backup to Aaron Rodgers. Will it be Will Howard? Will it be Mason Rudolph? I think Drew Aller's on a red shirt. So I would think basically it's one of those two. And whoever loses that job may not be on this roster when it's all said and done. So there's a lot to talk about. Love to hear from you. 412-575-2600. Join us tonight, 11:35 p.m. on the nightly or the number one Cochran Sports Showdown. That's coming your way after the late news on KDK with Mike DeCourcy, Chris Adamski, and Ray Fittipaldo. A lot to get into. Want to hear from you next right here on KDKA+. This is our Xfinity tweet of the night. It comes from ESPN Insights. Jacob Misiorowski's 66 pitches of 100 miles an hour plus today are the most in a single game in the pitch tracking era since 2008. And it's 8 more than the next most, which also was done by Misiorowski. In fact, he has the top 7 such games. It was incredible. He struck out the first 11 of the 12 Colorado Rockies he saw today, and you just don't see that every day. Christian Sanchez, by the way, is the only other challenger, I would think, at this point to the Cy Young. He was good tonight against the Yankees, upped his record to 12-4 with a 2.33 ERA, but Misiorowski, 1.58 ERA. He's been dynamic, and man, that guy, he just blows people away with an arm that doesn't stop. 100 mile an hour plus 66 times today. All right, want to hear from you, so call 412-575-2600, beginning with Chad in Pittsburgh. Hello, Chad, how are you?
Hey, Pomp. I wanted to talk about the the bullpen. The new guys they're getting, it's almost trial by error. I mean, they're throwing up meatballs. The only 3 pitchers I think you can rely on is Soto, Ramirez, and Mason Montgomery. I think they ought to move on a solid reliever, and even if it takes Florentino, I say go for it. Someone has to strike out or, get Miller.
Yeah, I mean, that's their biggest problem right now is closing out games. And, when these starters are only going 5 and 6 innings, you rely on your bullpen almost every single night. And even with those guys you mentioned, many of them are very inconsistent at times. Soto has been up and down. He's not been a lock. That's why Montgomery was in there today. Ramirez had a good streak, and then the other day, they backfired what they did, walking Crow Armstrong pretty much intentionally, and then they put up Suzuki, who, walked on 4 pitches. If you're going to do that, he has to throw strikes there. And that's been the one thing that Ramirez, although he's been better of late, he still can be wild, and he needs to rein that in. Thanks, Chad, for the call. Chuck in Uniontown, the voice of reason always. Hello, Chuck. How are you?
Good evening, Bob, and thank you. Flat out, yes or no. Will the Pirates make postseason play?
I mean, I hope yes. They're right now. I looked at these standings here, Chuck. Pirates, Nats, Cards, and San Diego all within a game, challenging Arizona, which is only 1 game ahead of them, all of them. So I think they can if they do something nice at this trade deadline and improve their bullpen.
What bothers me, Bob, is they're not taking advantage of the opportunity, particularly at home. That's a big series. I mean, they lost to the Cubs. I was afraid they were going to get swept, and we nearly did.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't seem like they're seizing the opportunity, but I still remain hopeful. But they absolutely, Bob, they have to do something with that bullpen. Everything's a white-knuckle affair down there.
Yeah, it is. And again, if your starters, thanks for the call, Chuck, if your starters are not going to go deep into the game, you're going to need these guys every single night of the week. Majinski was used today in the 8th inning, and he gave up a run. He got out of a jam. It could have been worse. Dotel's a guy who intrigues me. The other night when he was in, I thought he should have pitched more than 1 inning. I know sometimes Don Kelly, like a lot of managers, goes 1 inning, 1 inning, 1 inning, 1. To me, give me a couple of innings if you can, and his arm shows me now that he's back from injury, like he's pretty good and can handle it. Bruce is in Greenfield, and now he's on the show. Hey, Bruce, how are you?
Hey, Bob, how you doing tonight?
Good,
hey,
thanks.
I got a couple points I have one to ask your opinion on. First of all, I keep on hearing that they're talking about, trade bait, Nick Gonzalez. First of all, can you tell me why anybody would want to get rid of Nick Gonzalez? Got the highest average on the team, plays a great third base. What are they looking for a new third baseman for?
Well, I would disagree. He plays a great third base. I think I'm still going to be looking for someone. He's a good guy. He's more of a second baseman, but he's a good guy to have on your team. You're right. He's 313. I think he has 47 runs batted in. There's a lot to his game that I like. Finally starting to be the kind of prospect, they had in mind when they drafted him, I think 7th overall. I wouldn't be moving him.
Agree.
I like him.
No. Another question I got is, and you'll probably hang up on me after this comment, but, we're looking for, we need to, like you said, we need to make a blockbuster deal. The blockbuster deal is getting rid of Skeens. He's not going to be around much longer. We know that anyway. He's not producing at all.
He's not doing what you'd expect him to do.
Everybody keep talking about Skeens when he can't go more than 5 innings. It's getting old.
Well, it's happening a lot. You're right, but I'm not trading him. He still is of great value to me, and he's still, he's in many ways a victim of his own success. The first 2 years, what people expected from him was a sub-2 ERA every single year and 15 strikeouts a game. Now he struggled. I think he's trying to pitch to contact at times. I wish he would just get back to what he was doing. He's just not going deep enough into games. And you're right. When you have 100 pitches in 4 1/3 or 5 1/3 innings, plus, you got to do better than that. They need him. He needs to go 8 innings when he's out there just about every time, I think, and that's my expectation of him. I'm sure that's his own expectation. It's just not been very good, but I'm not trading him, not now. Sonny is in Uniontown. Hey, Sonny, what's going on?
Yes, sir. What are you doing?
I'm talking to you, Sonny, and that's a great name because it's the same name as my grandson, so I like that name, Sonny.
Great. Mason Miller, the other night I'm watching the game against Atlanta. They bring him in the 9th inning with a 5-run lead. I don't understand that.
Had he not pitched in a while? I'm not sure. I mean,
that makes sense.
But again, if he hadn't pitched in a while, they probably wanted to get him some work. It makes sense if you're doing that. He's only had like 42 innings this year. That's it. He's 25 for 25 in save opportunities, got a 0.86 ERA. He's got everything you'd want, and he also has 3 years of control, which is why I still think San Diego, they're in a tough situation because I look right now, they're 2 games behind Arizona. The Pirates are 1 game behind Arizona. We still haven't even gotten to August. A lot can change. Just ask the Boston Red Sox, who rattled off 15 wins in a row, to change the dynamic of their season. So, if I'm San Diego, I don't know if I'm getting rid of him. A lot of people think he could be on the market. We'll see, and the price could be high. They may want to do it if the price is right for them. So it will be very interesting to see what happens at that trade deadline. As far as the Steelers, as I said, they open up on Tuesday, and the big question is who is their backup quarterback. I think this is pretty much Will Howard's opportunity to win or to lose. I mean, if he plays well, I think they will probably defer to a guy who has some future years, knowing that they still need to find a franchise quarterback post Aaron Rodgers. So, you know what you're going to get with Mason Rudolph. You do. He doesn't have to play all that much in the preseason to know what you're going to get. He still will play because Aaron Rodgers never plays. But I want to see Howard, what he does with this opportunity. To me, it's his to lose. If he plays well, I think it's his opportunity. And if that happens, then it's going to be Rudolph either being traded or released or something. And I like Mason a lot. I do. I hope he gets an opportunity, whether it's here or someplace else, before his career is over, to be a starter again. I just don't think it's going to be here. As far as the backup, do you trust someone who's never played in professional football if Aaron Rodgers gets injured? That's another thing that would work in favor of Mason Rudolph. He has the experience there. So just depends on how they see it in these preseason games, which, by the way, are all going to be here on KDKA. Charlie Batch and I, along with Missy Matthews, will bring it to you beginning on August the 13th. The Green Bay Packers will be here at Acrisure Stadium. We're due for a break. We'll take it right now. 412-575-2600. That's the number to call right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. All right, welcome back. We continue live right here on KDKA Plus and 93.7 The Fan. Bob Pompeani with you till 11 o'clock. Be sure to join us tonight, 11:35, number 1 Cochran Sports Showdown. Right now, we're being joined by Big Al in Robinson. Hey, Big Al.
Yeah, you're hometown. Hey, Bob, let me ask you a question. I just turned 82. I've been going to games for 66 years. These starting pitchers are like a bunch of babies. Well, who started this pitch count? I saw Bob Gibson, Louis Tiant, Koufax, Drysdale. These guys actually had part-time jobs, and they were never Harvey Haddock's 13. And these guys don't have the athletic equipment and training to have now. So I think it's a joke. Who started this pitch count?
I think it is a result of big money coming into the game, Al. That's pretty much it. They're protecting their investments, and they think that these guys, you're going to put the spin rate, arms, the velocity, all of it works into play. I tend to agree with you. I think guys can go longer. I think they're awfully cautious with a lot of their higher-end guys. I get it. Especially if you're, a young guy like Ashcraft, they're trying to monitor this stuff. Yeah, but sometimes if he's going and he looks stress-free, just let him go longer. I just don't necessarily get it, just the way the game has gone. Jack in Chippewa. What's up, Jack? Oh, let's go to Louie then. Hey, Louie, how are you?
Hey, Bob. Just wondering what you think about O'Neal Cruz.
I think he's hurt.
To me,
and I think they need him.
It just seems to me that they can lose a bat to get an arm.
So you're saying you'd trade him?
I mean, well, I'm saying to get what they could get for him because we got plenty of offense right now without him.
You do, but you're going to lose Brandon Lau next year, or one more year of O'Hearn after that. They're going to still need his talent. I'm not going to trade him right now. I think he was on a 30-30, maybe even 40-40 pace. He's too talented from that point of view for me to get rid of him right now. However, if the price is right, if I can get what I want out of this deal and bring in someone who can help me right now, I'm for right now. That's what I'll say for you, Louis. I want to see them compete now because they don't often are in this position with the kind of pitching they have. Starting pitching they have, I should say, not bullpen. All right, Louis, thanks very much. 412-575-2600. Big series coming up with Arizona. As I said, they lost to Washington. How about the Nationals? They're still right in this as well. They're only a game behind, just like the Pirates are. And they got, the Juan Soto trade. Everybody, when that happens, said, wow, look at that. San Diego's going to get Juan Soto. That's awesome. He's and he is, but he signed a huge contract. He left San Diego, goes to the Mets. The guys they got in return for Washington are just tremendously good young players. C.J. Abrams, I think, is 25. He's the hottest hitter in baseball, and that's saying something because Pete Crow Armstrong has been hot too. And then you have James Wood, who's had 2 more home runs. He's 25 years old. He's got 30 home runs. Sometimes these blue chip prospects are valuable, and if somebody wants them, you should be able to get a lot for them if you want to make a deal. And that's what this next Monday is going to be about for Ben Cherington. Is he going to roll the dice, come up with something big, or will we just see another, arm come in to help them in the bullpen, a different arm? But it doesn't necessarily add up to a good arm. They need good arms. They need people who come in and lock down games, especially in innings 8 and 9. All right, that's going to do it for our program tonight. Thank you for joining me. We'll be back tomorrow and every night right here at 10:35. Join us tonight, number 1 Cochran Sports Showdown. It's on every Sunday at 11:35. We got Chris Adamski, Mike DeCourcy, and Ray Fittipaldo coming at you tonight. We'll talk a lot about the Pirates and a lot about the Steelers as they begin training camp coming up this week at St. Vincent College in Latrobe. That's going to do it. I'm Bob Pompeani. Have a good rest of your night as you take a look at PNC Park, which for the next 3 days will have some big games between Pittsburgh and Arizona. Have a good night, everyone.